It is a Monday morning, June 17th, and I'm at the Bingham State Park in southern Georgia, actually near the small town of Adel, just off of Highway 75. So I'm just staying here last night. I'll be leaving this morning around 10 or 10:30. Just wanted to get a quick hike in this morning, because I noticed there's about 7 miles of day hikes. So that's what I've been doing. It's actually nice and cool this morning. It was 71 first thing. I think it's still 71 or 72 degrees. So I'm off on a 2.5-week vacation up to North Carolina from Florida. Just had to get out of that summer heat in Florida. So I'll be at a couple higher locations in North Carolina, so it should be cooler. We shall see. This is beautiful through here. Nice hardwood swamp. Very nice. Very cool. Foothills of South Carolina, about to enter the mountains. There's Walla Walla High School. Cool name. Starting to get interesting. Wednesday morning. I'm doing a little day hike along the Appalachian Trail. This is on top of Round Knob, I think it's called. And Roan Mountain is up at our high Roan Knob, I think it's called. It's in the clouds up there. A little bit of a breeze up here. It's getting cool. I'm approaching the Grassy Ridge, or Grassy Bald, I forget what it's called. But I am in the clouds. So there's not going to be any views. The views are supposed to be magnificent up here. I'm about 2.5 miles in, and I go back the same way. Still very pretty. I'm on the same trail, hiking in the cloud. It suddenly got nice and cool. When the sun comes out, when the clouds part, it's quite warm. But without the sun, it is pretty chilly. It's probably because of the breeze. And I'm just out in the open. So it's about, 65 degrees with a 20-mile-an-hour wind. That'll make it cool. So I'm headed back. It's like 2.5 miles in and 2.5 miles back out to where my truck is parked at Carver Gap. So I should be back maybe by 1:30. It's 12:15 right now. This is Roan High Bluffs. It's a Thursday morning and I'm walking in the rhododendron gardens. There's a bunch of different trails in here. I missed the peak of the rhododendron blooms by just a week and a half. And I missed the flaming azaleas by about 3 weeks. So, but I'm also missing all the crowds, so it's a trade-off. Beautiful, beautiful trails through here. I'm on top of Roan Mountain, about a little over 6,200 feet. So it's nice and cool this morning. But I am wearing a t-shirt. Just avoiding the sweat. Now a lot of the trails are like sidewalks. I'm on the furthest loop trail that's been sort of grown over, old asphalt trail. But this is the prettiest one in here. Traveling on the Blue Ridge Parkway this morning on a Saturday morning, July 2nd. And I may go up to Mount Mitchell today. I'm going to I'll at least drive up the road. It may be in the clouds, but it looks like it might be nice. Here, it's opening up right here. Oh, here's a viewpoint. Maybe I can see Mount Mitchell. No, Mount Mitchell would be more to the left, but it looks like it's clear. I'm on the Craggy Gardens trail. Started from the picnic area and uphill all the way to this bald. The rhododendrons are done blooming. And it's very crowded, very popular. Approaching the top of Mount Mitchell.
Thank you.
Highest point in the U.S. Got clouds this way. A little bit of a view over here. Sort of socked in with clouds.
A couple years ago, they were I'm on top of Mount Mitchell. Right now I'm hiking the Balsam Nature Trail. It's just, I think, a 0.75 mile trail that goes from near the top back down to the parking lot. Instead of hiking with the crowds of people coming down from the top, this is really nice. The top was kind of nuts. Tons of people. This is beautiful through here. Lots of ferns. So pretty.
Linville Falls. Yep, you too. This is the Chimney Rock lookout of Linville Falls. Very impressive.
Whoa! I didn't expect that. Wow.
I assume they come across one.
This is more of a talking room. Alright, so like I stated earlier, we do have a lot of creatures that live with us. We have centipedes, millipedes, cave crickets, spiders, and bats. Now we have two types of bats that live with us. We have our brown bat and our tricolor bat. They are the hibernating kind, and they live with us from October to April every year. But with the bats, there is something called white nose.
And the bellows. The bellows for the organ. Probably not too hard. But I would not want to do this for too long. It is 8:24 in the morning on a Tuesday morning, July 5th, and I am approaching Crabtree Falls. This is, I'm leaving today. Got to check out at 12, so I thought I'd get in this walk in the morning. This looks really good. It's a little cooler right here. It was warm walking down the mountain to here. It's all downhill to here, and it's a loop trail, so it'll be all uphill going back. Gotta watch your step. Looks like I'm the first one here. There's the way back up. or north on the Blue Ridge Parkway to my next camping spot, Corps of Engineers Campground. Beautiful day. I'm sure there's a reason for this elevated portion of the Blue Ridge Parkway called the viaduct. Maybe the soil is just too unstable here. I'm sure I could find out if I read up on it. Pretty interesting. Observation deck. This is the viaduct. Wow. It's in the clouds. It is a Wednesday morning, July 6th at 9:25 a.m. I've been camping at the Bandits Roost Corps of Engineers Campground. Be there for 2 nights. And right now I'm on the Overland Trail. It's a National Historic Trail. Total of about 12 miles. The other end starts right at the campground, but it's closed due to flooding waters caused by beavers. And I think the sign said they're going to try to destroy the dams, and that could cause major flooding. So that part of the trail is closed. So I drove up down the road about 3 or 4 miles to the reservoir park, the Care Reservoir, and saw a trailhead here. $5 to park, and it looks like it's mostly a bike trail, but there's no one here this morning. I'm sure there's bikes out here on the weekend, so I'll probably just go a couple miles this morning. It's going to get hot today. I'm at a lower altitude. I'll be off to the Smoky Mountains the day after tomorrow. Or actually tomorrow. Yep. So I just had to get out, stretch my legs a little bit. This is a good one. It is July 7th. I'm heading to Deep Creek Campground in the Smokies this morning. This is looking around the campground here. I'm in the center section with about 4 other trailers, just surrounded. I'm surrounded. That's a pretty spot. Made it to the top of the knob. It was only 0.5 miles, but really steep uphill. Seems like it was like a mile. I thought there'd be a 360 view up here, but not quite. Winter wren. Wow. I'm hiking the Flat Creek Trail this afternoon. It's only 12:43 right now. I got started right at noon. This is a 2.6 mile long hike. and then 2.6 back to where I parked my truck. Just a linear hike. These grasses through here are really neat. Probably a lot of deer through here. So this trail is very pretty. It's considered a nature trail, but pretty long, 2.6, and a little over 800 feet elevation gain coming back. It was raining all morning, so I got out to a late start, but this is perfect and the weather is cool. It's just beautiful. I'm turning this hike into a loop trip by going back on the road. Not sure how far it is because my Allstays app would not load the map, but it can't be more than 3 miles, I would think. Might be a little further, but there's not much traffic here, so. And there were a couple deer back there, so it's something different. It's still cool outside. Turned out to be a great day. Approaching the observation tower at Clingmans Dome, the highest point on the Appalachian Trail and the highest point in the Smoky Mountains. This is it.
No.
And we're fogged in at the moment.
Hey then.
Not sure if the camera's going to pick this up, but I'm walking through the tunnel to nowhere. And I sort of hear myself, my echo. It's about 1/8 of a mile long. You can see the other end of the tunnel. It'll take about a little less than 10 minutes, I think, to get all the way through. Really can't see the floor, which could be disconcerting to some. Very close to the front. It's pretty neat. I go this way quite a bit for backpacking adventures, a popular starting point. There's a whole system of trails that start right here. Okay, I'm coming to the other end of the tunnel. When you're on a backpacking trip, it's sort of like you're entering into a new lost world, something out of a sci-fi movie or something. Pretty neat. Into the beautiful green forest. Quite a contrast to the echoey tunnel. Pretty wild.
I am approaching the Juney Whank Falls in the Deep Creek area. It's Monday, July 11th. My last day camping here. Falls look pretty good with all the rain we've had the last 2 days. Now I need to watch my step here. Oh yeah, pretty good.
This is the Fort Mountain West Lookout.
Don't stay on the edge, bro.
Dude, she ain't fish, bro. Shukhtini. Huh? No.
I'm on the Gahuti Backcountry Trail this morning. I'm still in Fort Mountain State Park. Now this is the 8-mile long trail, and it's supposed to be one all trails is considered hard. So I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm getting into here. I'm about a mile in right now, and it's taken me 50 minutes to do the first mile. So far it's been a lot of up and down. It's kind of been tough. We'll see if it gets any worse or any better. I'll keep you updated. Well, I'm only 1.5 miles into the hike, and I've come to the conclusion that it's going to be too tough to do the entire 8 miles. I did not expect the severe up and downs. So I'm cutting across. I'm going to be using this non-authorized trail to get up to the road and then take a bike path for a ways and connect to the other side of this loop of the Gahuti Trail. So this may end up only being a 5 to 6 miles, probably more like 5 miles rather than the total 8. But that's fine. And it's just too darn hot too. I've been sweating a lot. So maybe in cooler weather it would be more doable. All right. Doing about a half a mile on this road walk. Should be coming up to the bike trail pretty soon. It's about a half a mile on that trail till I get back to the Gahuti Trail. So I've cooled down a bit, so this is enjoyable. I'm now on bike trail 303 for a half mile or so, maybe 6 or 7 tenths of a mile. So it was uphill at first, and now it's leveled off. It's been pretty rough for a bike trail, lots of roots. Made it back to the Gahuti Trail. That took 45 minutes to take the so-called shortcut. And I'm gonna take a break here. This western side of the Gahuti loop is quite a bit nicer. It's not as steep, not as overgrown, and it's probably used a lot more. This would provide a good hike from the campground up to Fort Mountain, probably about 2.5 miles or so. Then you'd have to come back the same way, unless you want to tackle the other side of the loop. This is really not bad at all. I'm back at the Cool Springs Overlook, which is just 200 feet from my truck. It's just awesome. So that was exactly 4.5 hours for about 5 miles. That was pretty tough. Well, now I'm getting a nice cool breeze. Where was this all day? There's my truck. 4.5 hours later and nearly 5 miles. It was a good trek. But 8 miles, I mean, there's 4 backpacking sites along the trail. So I think this trail is best suited for a 2 or 3 day backpacking trip. One day to just do that loop, that's pretty strenuous. This is the Lakeshore Trail, and a very nice little lake that's in the park. Trail around it, a little over a mile long. Got some paddle boats for rent. And this is just the picnic area. So I'm going to keep exploring after my nice little rest. Headed back down to the lake trail and then back up to my trailer. Been walking 2 hours already, plus the 4.5 earlier. I'm going to sleep well tonight. This is really beautiful through here. I'm at the Cotton Hill Corps of Engineers campground, and there's a little nature trail here. Wow, look at this. I'm kind of surprised. The Corps of Engineers campgrounds, usually there's just fishing and boating, because there's usually just a lake or some body of water, but usually not a hiking trail or nature trail. So this was unexpected. My campsite's really beautiful, just up from the lake. Very nice. Back at my starting point. That took 25 minutes to do that loop. So that's about a mile long. Pretty good. Got in a couple short hikes today. My campsite's right up here.